Okay, so today, guys, we're going to take a t-shirt that we have already that we might not be wearing. It may be an old t-shirt, it might be stained, and we're going to cut it up and design it the way that the pictures show here. So let's get our materials together and get ready. So the materials you'll need is one old t-shirt, something that you've worn that you're not going to wear again, scissors, and a ruler. So you want to start with an old t-shirt. Now this can be a t-shirt that you're not going to wear anymore. Maybe it's something that is stained and even after you wash it, it still has a stain, so you're not going to wear it. It could be an old t-shirt. Ask your parent or guardian before you take anything out of your closet or out of your drawers or wherever you store your clothing. Make sure that you get permission to use the t-shirt that you're going to use, okay? If the t-shirt is wrinkled, you want your parent or guardian to iron it very quickly for you. It does not have to be super duper straight, like pressed straight, but you want to pass an iron over it, parents, so that they can lay it out easily and that there's not a lot of wrinkles in the garment, okay? So kids, you're going to lay your t-shirt out either on a table, or if you don't have a space at the table, you can lay it out on the floor. Make sure that it's laid out flat and that there are no bubbles in the fabric, and that you don't see any wrinkles in it. Okay, so you see me smoothing it out, make sure that you can do that. The next thing you're going to do is that you're going to take your pencil and a ruler. Now, if you don't have a ruler, you can also use the straight side of a notebook. So you don't have to have a ruler, but if you do, I'm using a ruler for mine. But if you have a flat side of a notebook, you can do that. The straight side of a notebook, you can do that. You're going to take your ruler and you're going to lay it out from a little bit lower down than the armhole and straight across your t-shirt. Make sure that the ruler is straight before you begin. Once the ruler is straight and it's lined up with the edge of your t-shirt, you're going to create a line. You're going to draw a line with your pencil about 4 or 5 inches in. Make sure that your lines are straight, and you want to go up a little bit under the armhole, not directly under the armhole of the t-shirt. So I went about 5 inches in for that on my ruler. And then you want to bring your ruler, slide your ruler a little ways down and create another line. You're going to continue making lines down that one side of the t-shirt. So as you can see, I'm going back up and I'm creating smaller spaces between those lines. They're probably about as wide as a pencil, a little bit wider. Less than a half an inch, parents. Kids, you want to just make it probably about a pencil width wide. And continue making those lines straight down. Make sure you're using a pencil, otherwise it won't be able to wash out. Okay, so we're going to go on to step 2. So step 2 is to cut off the sleeves of the t-shirt. So what you're going to do is you're going to follow the line of the sleeve where it's attached to the t-shirt. So that's the stitching line. You're going to cut along that line and cut off the sleeves. Cut off the sleeve there and cut off the sleeve on the other side of the t-shirt. Okay, so we have a couple more steps. So step 3 is that we're going to draw about 6 more lines. We're going to draw these lines straight up and down towards the other side of the t-shirt where the other sleeve is. So I'm moving my t-shirt so you can see. But in that area right there, right next to where we cut off the sleeve, we're going to draw 6 lines. Now these lines are going to be straight up and down. So you see I turned my ruler and made it straight from the top by the shoulder down towards the bottom of the shirt. And we're going to make our lines about 2 inches long, and we're going to make them like steps. So we're going to make them diagonal, straight down. So I did the first 3. So parents, you can help get those lines correct with the diagonal. And then we're going to do 3 more right underneath it. Now I didn't decide where I was going to go, and then it took me a minute to decide. We're going to go right underneath it, and we're going to do 3 more lines in the diagonal. So you see how it looks like a step? We're going to do that right underneath it as well. So you end up with 6 lines that look like scratches or scratch marks. Okay, so now that we've done all of our marking and prepped everything, now it's time to cut. So the lines that we did along the side of the t-shirt, we're going to cut from the edge of the t-shirt all the way to the end of the lines, right? Now, if you notice, some of my lines, they're not all the same length. You don't want them to be all the same length. Some are shorter than others, and you want to follow that along the entire time. So cut all of the lines, and then we'll go to the other part of the t-shirt. Okay, so we have one more cut, and so we're gonna go over to that other side of the shirt where we made those vertical lines, those lines that go up and down, and we're going to cut just the front side of the t-shirt. So how I do that is that I take my scissor, and instead of holding it straight up and down, I turn my scissor flat so that it's against the fabric. I make one little snip, and then I cut up into the fabric. So one more time. So I take my scissor and I turn it on the side, on its side, so that I can get to just the top layer, and then I slit and I go all the way up. And so I cut those out. Okay, so the last step is to give our cuts a little tug. You want to pull a little bit on each of the cuts that we made. So you see how it looks like fringes. We're gonna pull each one just slightly. Don't pull too hard or else it's gonna pop the fabric, right? Just wanna pull a little bit so that it starts to look like a little bit like shoelaces, a little bit like ropes. You're gonna pull them so they stretch out a little bit, and you pull all of the cuts there until you're finished. Then you do the same thing for the ones that are near the shoulder. Okay, and now we're finished. You can put it on and wear it with a different tank top underneath it. Maybe you want to wear a different color tank top underneath it so that all of your cuts show really nicely. We're going to keep this t-shirt and we're going to use it for our next project next week. I won't tell you what it is yet, it's a surprise, but we're going to do something with this t-shirt next week. But here's the finished product on a female mannequin and also on a male mannequin, so you get a chance to see the difference. So either boys or girls can do this activity. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time for our Fashion Tuesday. Bye, guys.